going over my homie Steven Cannon. We're going to be mixing and mastering a song from scratch today, actually. Here's the whole project loaded up. Steven Cannon is an artist, just for some background. He's from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. He currently lives in LA as well. He does tons of shows in Arizona, Texas, you name it. He's all over the place. Whenever he's in Dayton or Cincinnati, I make sure I get him down here to record at least one single. This is what we got about a month ago, so I'm going to go ahead and play a little piece of this for you guys. And if you enjoy it, watch the rest of the video. You'll find out how I mixed and mastered it all.
The only way to fund a tour bus, running up a check until I turn the dust. Niggas copy swag, gotta get your buzz. I don't need niggas at all. Need me my wife and my dog. Shorty blow dope like a fog. Feet of the cock like a log. 2 straps on me, 2 gats on me, I shoot. Booth with the pack, I'll send it back to you.
Alright, so that was part of his verse. So anyways, if you enjoyed that, you're going to stick around, listen to the rest. Here's how I mixed and mastered it. And pretty much going to take it from scratch, basically. I'm not going to delete everything off here. But I will tell you where I started. So obviously he came in and we started off. He gave me the beat. As you can see, Steve 3.1. I'm going to unsolo everything. Who's texting me? Homie Beater. Anyways. So first thing we recorded was the hook right here. And this is what it sounds like solo.
I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint, get this spillin' my swag goo. I got 2 drums on me.
So let's talk about what we have on his vocals. First, I'll play them from scratch. As you notice, I have no reverb. I might as well take this bus off.
Alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint, get.
So I talk about this in some of my other videos. Always what I start out with is, for the most part, my vocal writer. I have my vocal writer set on kind of a preset I had it set on. I have the vocals turned up high, a little bit of spill, have that on fast, and I'm keeping the target right at about -10. So let's turn that on and see what the difference is.
I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint.
So basically what that's doing is that's just going to smooth it out for you. Next, I have some EQing on his vocals. I always take out the low end on my vocals below 120 usually. Somewhere around there, just to not interfere with the bass, obviously. Why have vocals in your bass? So here's what it sounds like with the EQ off and then on.
2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1
little bit
into
clearer.
a deuce. Hydroplane the.
Now we're going to add on. Next I have is the R compressor from Waves Audio. I have the threshold set to -17, keeping the gain where it's at. Really not using this plugin too much. I'll show you what it's doing.
2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint.
So really what I'm going for there is just a little more crispiness, a little more clearness, something easier to work with and build up from. Next we have my favorite compressor, which is a compressor from a guy named Joey Sturgis. He's recorded stuff for Pantera, Miss Man, I Divorce Prada, you name it. Bunch of hardcore bands. This is like a big time screamers plugin, and it just works great with rap vocals. It's super responsive. It's just moving up and down real quick. So here's what it sounds like before and after.
I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce.
So now we're getting that real smooth kind of sound that Steven Cannon likes. Next I add in my Vitamin. Sometimes I'll add this on earlier in my chain. This is still pretty early on because I still have a limiter I put on his voice. So this is coming before the limiter. So we still have plenty of room to work with. If you see, it's peaking at -30 on the screen right where my mouse is. So we have tons of room just to add some vocal presence. So here's what that sounds like before and after.
2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint, get this.
So basically Vitamin is just like your ear candy. Notice I have the punch turned all the way up because I just have so much headroom to work with. I might as well give all that ear candy we can. So the next step is I actually added a limiter. the MV2, which is a Waves plugin. You could use this. You could use the L1 limiter, another limiter. This is the one I chose for this particular song. Sounds pretty good. Here's what it sounds like on top of the ear candy and all the compressors. So this is basically the final plugin on my chain for Stephen Cannon's main vocals. Here we go.
I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce.
So we're really bringing out the T's and the S's, and then from there, we're going to go through and actually take a little bit of them out with our final plugin, the de-esser from Waves. So here's what that sounds like reacting on top of that limiter and all the ear candy before and then after.
I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint, get this spilling my swag go. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2.
So, how long did that take for us to do? 2 seconds. He just went up there and did that in one take. The next take we have on here is the double, which I have slightly different things done to, and this is just to open it up and give it that chorus sound. So here's what it sounds like with it.
I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a dose. Hydroplane the paint, get this spilling my swag go. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. I got drums on me, 2. I got.
So how did we get that wide effect? Pretty simple. I also still have no reverb on the second one. He likes his stuff pretty reverbless for the most part, unless it's ad-libs. So we still have our vitamin on there. You can see it's different than the main vitamin. This is the main. This is the ad-libs. We have a lot of the main body turned down in the ad-libs. Just some ear candy really is all we're adding. We have everything else pretty much set the same. The only thing different is we have the Logic Pro and Logic Pro X plugin it comes with for chorus sound, which I like a lot. I'll normally turn it on mega wide chorus, which is why I believe this is. Crank up the mix a little bit, adjust the intensity and the rate, and go from there, and it gives us this real wide sound.
I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint, get this spilling my swag go. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2.
So next are what we call highlights or overdubs. Some people get them confused for ad-libs, but they can be either or. He kind of does both on these tracks. So these are just things he's highlighted. I have choruses on both of them. As you can see, they're not as wide as this main one. And what that's doing is instead of filling up all the outside room, we're filling up the outside room with the main chorus. And then on the inside, we're still wide a little bit. But that's where all those ad-libs are coming in. What else did I do with these ad-libs? You can see I switched from the MV2. And on the ad-libs, I do not have that on. Instead, I'm using my L1 limiter. So that's the main difference between these ad-libs. Notice on the overdubs or ad-libs, or highlights, whatever you want to call them, those are the only things I really have the reverb turned on for. And that's just to add some reverb, add some space into the mix without having to put it on the lead vocal.
Hydroplane the paint, get this spilling my swag go. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. Hydroplane the paint, get this spilling my swag go. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. I got 2 hoes with me, 2 hoes with me, I do. To the fucking zen, like I do in my high chew. Think my chopper gotta sneeze away, it's pointing right. Gotta sneeze away, it's pointing right.
So on the lead verse, really what I have given it a ton of that fatness is this JST clip, which is another Joey Sturgis plugin, which, just to remind you, the Joey Sturgis plugin is this compressor, which is in all my chains. So this is like a limiter basically, kind of, or it's like sausage fattener. So I kept it on 100. I'm not using it too much. It's just giving it a little bit of fatness, as well as that MV2 limiter coming before it. We still have our vitamin on, which is pretty much identical to the chorus one. So I wanted this to sound real smooth out of the chorus, just into a singular verse. And then so I'll let this play out.
Right at you, found a Squirtle and yo bitch, I don't need a Pikachu. Ran man, a lot of packs, Chevy had to rush. Trap the only way to fund a tour bus. Running up a check until I turn to dust. Niggas copy swag, gotta get your buzz. I don't need niggas at all. Need me my wife and my dog. Shorty blow dope like a fork. Feet of the cock like a log. Feet of the cock like a log.
So I have some fancy chops, blah, 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 some other stuff going on in the verse. As you can see, the ad-libs again in the yellow here, they're all chorused out. So they're giving a lot of depth on top of the super singular.
I don't need niggas at all. I gotta get your buzz. I don't need niggas at all. Need me my wife and my dog. Shorty blow dope like a fork.
And how did I do that chop? Basically just by hand. It's pretty easy. It's not.
Swag, gotta get your buzz. I don't need niggas at all. Need me my wife and my dog. Shorty blow dope like a fork. Feet of the cock like a log. 2 straps on me, 2 gats on me. I shoot.
So not only with those chops, but it's just something really important to do for all the verses when you have real clear, articulate rappers like this. Just cut out all those breaths that just don't really work. Make it sound like a radio song.
Booth with the pack, I'll send it back to you. Gucci on the cap, Balenciaga is the shoes. You can't get the feature unless you send a nigga 2. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. Cool, alley-oop, turn my 1 into a deuce. 2 drums on me, 2. Dunk a nigga like I'm Iguodala. Crash a whip, that mean I'm whipping proper. Fold the beat just like an empanada. My heart is green, I'm all about $1. Dropping his hand in my pina colada. You jump for the foreplay and slaughter your daughter. Dick is too good that she bought me Impala. My actions so rich that the Impala. My actions so rich that the.
So this part here, basically, I just have some beat cuts I decided to take out, and he has some highlights or overdubs on top of them that I have quirk.
Heart is green, I'm all about $1. Dropping his hand in my pina colada. You jump for the foreplay and slaughter your daughter. Dick is too good that she bought me Impala. My actions so rich that the seats is designer. I'll put you down for my body.
Now, how do they make that woo, woo sound in the beat? Super easy. So we go to the beat here. All you got to do is grab your fader, fade tool, fade it out, and then you right click, and it'll give you an option to slow down if you're going this way or speed up if you're going this way.
My actions so rich that the seats is designer. I'll put you down for my body. Cap a nigga like a show. Niggas wishing that they know me. Me and Bullet, Zach and Cody. Trapping hard up at the Ford. Charge a nigga for a Ford.
Reverb, you can see it's at plus 0.9 reverb, and we're feeding into our bus 1, so we're using our R-verb on a medium dark plate. So yeah, lots of reverb on these ad-libs just to give it some space. It's the only parts in these songs for Stephen Cannon that really have any
I'll put you down for my body. Cap a nigga like a show. Niggas wishing that they know me. Me and Bullet, Zach and Cody. Trapping hard up at the Ford. Charge a nigga for a Ford. Charge a nigga for my old hoe. I'm a zoo and you roll hoe. Follow nigga like a Twitter. Fuck his bitch, call her sister. Eat a pussy like a dinner.
That's something I do a lot for my artist stuff, is I'll have these fades coming in, and really it's just goal with the fades is to not make it too muddy, have it come in just the right amount to hype up the song, and then when it drops back into the singular, it doesn't sound wrong going into a singular. It needs to sound just as hype as it was coming into it. So that's kind of my goal with these fade-ins.
Trapping hard up at the Ford. Charge a nigga for a Ford. Charge a nigga for my old hoe. I'm a zoo and you roll hoe. Follow nigga like a Twitter. Fuck his bitch, call her sister. Eat a pussy like a dinner. I remember running in her. She be acting like she don't. Told a nigga check her phone. I been running through a band. Fuck a nigga for a Zan. Bitch be loyal to your man. Hydroplane the pain, get this spillin' my swag go. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2. I got 2 drums on me, 2 drums on me, 2.
So that was the end of the song. You heard my tag at the end. Glad we listened to it all the way through. The only other thing really I used on this song, and I used it tastefully, not at the whole end or on every hook, is just this little alien voice, and really it's almost like some Kendrick stuff, but it's just some finely tuned ultra pitch. Which is another Waves plugin. It's basically a doubler. I have it on Screaming Mangler, and I've just adjusted it so it's not too hardcore.
Two, cool, alley-oop, turn my one into a dose. Hydroplane of paint, get the spill in my swag, go. I got two drums on me, two drums on me, two. Cool, alley-oop, turn my one into a dose.
And notice once again, only on these bottom ones here do I have tons of reverb just to give it some crazy spacey sound. It's not on the whole thing, that would take up way too much room. It's only on these little pieces.
I got two drums on me, two drums on me, two. Cool, alley-oop, turn my one into a dose. Hydroplane of paint, get the spill in my swag, go. I got two drums on me, two drums on me, two. I got two drums on me, two drums on me.
It's really last thing I have to say is just what I'd like you to learn from this whole mix is just make sure when you're doing in and outs of hooks or bringing things in, or you're doing weird funky voices, make sure all the levels are equal, nothing's overcoming each other, everything has the same hype. I believe this song showed a good example of that, so that's why I picked this Stephen Cannon song to go over with you guys. So I'll play it one more time from top to back, and that's going to be the end of this video. I'll quickly tell you how I mastered it. I just slapped on some Vitamin. I'll show you where the levels were before I started mastering. Look down where my mouse is.
She be acting like she don't. Told a nigga check her phone. I been running through a band. Fuck a nigga for a Zan. Bitch be loyal to your man.
So it starts out with tons of headroom with the overall mix, so we can go in and just master. I have my mastering 3. This was just a default on Vitamin, and I just tweaked it a bit. Usually I don't use those, but it sounded super well, and it still left some headroom for the vocals. So here's how that sounded like with just
to your man.
So once again, Vitamin's just making that ear candy, and what's cool is we're using the stereo Vitamin, so you can actually tweak the width of the overall master. So then we just go through and I add the L1 Ultra Maximizer and make sure this isn't peaking too much on the attenuator, and it's not, and this is exactly where we ended up. This is the final product. So here's before and after.
Bitch be loyal to your man. Hydroplane of paint, get the spill in my swag, go. I got two drums on me, two drums on me, two. I got two drums on me, two drums on me.
So yeah, that's how I mixed Stephen Cannon. The song Two Drums coming out soon from scratch. It's been Producer Prez. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my mix and master, subscribe, like, share this shit. Let me be your favorite tatted white boy engineer. I also offer mixing and mastering to people that have their stuff pre-recorded. Just email producerprez@gmail.com if you'd like more info on that. Thank you for watching.